All right, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome to another edition of Vendasta's weekly Wednesday sales webinar. And again, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules. My name is Rich Seaward. I am the sales development team lead here at Vendasta. And our platform consists of 4 sections: Vendor Center, Partner Center, Sales Tool, and Business Center. And of course, our products, as you all know, include reputation management, social marketing, listing builder, brand analytics, and marketplace. What I would like to focus on a little bit is the product insider, and I'd like to encourage each and every one of you, if you haven't or have not signed up for this yet, to keep up to date of all of our upcoming features and new products by subscribing to the Vendasta Product Insider. It's very helpful to get informed about all the cool features that we are releasing. You know, I don't always know myself, so I always get these alerts, and it's very, very handy just to keep up to date. And you can also sign up for these webinars here as well. You'll find the links to register on the side panel of all the support articles, or talk to your account manager and they can sign up for you as well. We're going to talk about some effective cold calling prospecting methods today. I think all of us probably know that traditional cold calling as we used to know it. I'm over 40, so I know a little bit about this. Traditional cold calling is dead, meaning blindly picking up the phone and randomly calling businesses. Just don't do that anymore. Salespeople now have the power today, the ability to conduct a bit of research. They can use some marketing automation or some drip campaign techniques and learn more important details before dialing to warm up that cold call. You want to move yourself out of the unknown and into the known with modern cold calling prospecting techniques. So here's some helpful hints to keep in mind. As they say, 90% of everything in life is attitude, and sales is absolutely no exception. If you have a negative vibe on the phone, people are going to pick that up. But if you're positive and you're enthusiastic, people, it immediately radiates, and people, if you feel someone that's being positive towards you, you're going to feel positive too. And smile on the phone or smile while you're in person. Smile to the power of 10. It does take practice, but it's very important. Before every call, you should possess the right attitude and have an agenda set out before you make the call, and be confident. I can sell to this person. I can book this presentation. Whether it's going to be a $100 deal or $1 million deal, you should be confident that you're able to sell in any situation. You better believe in the product you're selling as a sales rep. Sell yourself before you sell your prospects. You must believe that the solution that you have to offer is worth way more, is worth the money and the time the interested buyer will invest in. Now, if you don't believe in that, if you don't believe that your solution, if you don't believe in your solution, each time you're going to meet face-to-face or you get on the phone with a prospect, with that qualified buyer, you're just going to become more unconvincing and robotic, which radiates or transforms into being less engaged. And if you hear someone on the phone or in person that's less engaged, you're not going to be engaged, or the prospect on the other side is not going to be engaged either. In sales, you must, it's an absolute must that you have to be willing and able to call prospects again and again until you're able to contact them, and they're willing to set aside some time to talk with you. Now, there's various research that's been done into this. What I was able to uncover was InsideSales.com research has shown, on average, sales reps give up after only 1.3 attempts. Now, let's think about that for a moment. 1.3 attempts. You're not even calling the prospect twice. You're giving up practically after one, or not you necessarily, but others like sales reps in general. That's just not enough. Now, further research has shown the ideal number of contact attempts, and it varies, but it's usually between 6 to 9 attempts before you are able to actually contact someone. Why is that? Well, people are busy. People are in meetings. They're out on calls already. They're busy running their business. So don't quit. Bring that attitude into every prospect and every call that you make. Don't quit. Don't give up. Most prospects tend to admire the persistence and the commitment that you've shown without being pestering, and they'll become more receptive to what solution that you may have to offer. The pitch has got to be nailed down tight. It's an absolute must. Your script and or elevator pitch is important and valuable. You never know who you're going to run into someday, and if you have a 10 to 15 second elevator pitch, that could potentially mean setting up an appointment for the next day or the next week. And it always helps to have an agenda during the call. And I would say there's some questions that you can ask yourself, and I've done this too in the past. What are you hoping for? Are you hoping to close a deal? Who are the decision makers? Are you calling to book a presentation? Make sure that pitch is tailor-made in alignment with your goal, because it could require a different approach. So just be aware of that. A closing call is going to require a different approach than to book a presentation. So just be aware that you have that aligned, your pitch aligned with what your ultimate goal is going to be. And I also would recommend too that when you're going to do a follow-up call or a following action, get a commitment from the prospect or the qualified buyer. If you're going to set up, say, a follow-up call the next week, get a commitment next Tuesday at 2:00 p.m. How does that sound? You have to have a declaration that the prospect is unable to regurgitate and the competition is unable to imitate. The value that you bring to the table with a solution, it should be such that the prospect is unable to ignore and the competition cannot match. Now let's think of it this way. Why do prospects buy? Well, I would dare say they buy because it's to solve a problem. So with your declaration, it's key to express how that is going to solve a problem or problems that your prospect may be having or experiencing. And also whether the prospect does recognize a problem or not, nailing down what you know and can deliver is going to wow them. We've all felt this before. It's nerve-wracking when you make a call, for the first, especially if it's the first time or you're walking into a meeting for the first time. We've all experienced this, and it's okay. It's natural emotion to feel nervous. And us sales reps, we dislike rejection, but we know that it's part of the territory. It's just the way of the land. So keep in mind, you have everything to gain, and you have nothing to lose on each call or meeting. And a great sales rep will understand this and doesn't allow this to become a blocker. Rather, he allows this to use it as a motivator. And what I would also say too is, as a sales rep, ultimately you want to get to a yes or a no answer. Yes, I will buy. No, I won't buy. And getting to a yes or a no, I think should also be one of the end goals as well. Now, regardless of the price, sales reps, they must believe that their solution is the best value. And it's good to convince yourself that, even if you aren't the cheapest, maybe you're the most expensive or one of the most expensive, you still have the best value. So understand what makes your solution better to be able to pitch it to your prospect. And again, ask yourself this, why should someone buy your solution even if it's the most expensive or a little bit pricier? And knowing how to deliver that value is definitely key here. And that's where the solution ties in. If you're able to propose why your solution can help solve a problem, that's how you're going to show value value in your pitch and in ultimately in your pricing. I think this is super key. I've done this in my career, and I've always taken this with me. Is it's common courtesy, and it's very important in sales. It's, you know, treat everyone with respect. You know, you treat your prospect or even your current client with respect, and you know, in return they'll respect you. Now, sometimes what happens is reps, and I've even felt this too before. Again, it's you get caught. What you get caught in sometimes is, you know, you treat a new prospect. So say you're going to make a brand new call, or you're going to make a first call to a new prospect, and you end up treating them like the last bunch of prospects that say you talked to or you failed to sell to. And that obviously becomes a rejection or it becomes an issue when you get rejection during cold calls or prospecting. So on each and every call, reps should take the approach as to start fresh. So each and every time you get on a call with a prospect, start fresh. Treat them with respect. It's brand new. The new prospect is not responsible for previous attempts that haven't necessarily gone well or it's gone south. You know, don't hold them accountable, because they're not accountable. It's not their fault. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and I'll explain. If we can relate this to sales, it's, you know, don't depend on that one call or sure thing. The team that I currently have a team of now 7 sales development representatives. And one of the things that we've talked about lately, and over the last, say, month to 2 months, and it's been a real focus for us, is, you know, we need to be hustling. We need to be making lots of calls. And, you know, if you're feeling somewhat rejected or disappointed, that's fine, but you should be able to move on afterwards. And if that rejection or that disappointment lingers, you know, maybe you don't have much going on. So rejection and disappointment, you know, they possibly could be indicators that that sales model that, you know, you have or we have, you know, may need repair. It's signaling that there's just not enough in your pipeline. So what I mean by that, and again, I'll relate it to my sales development team. We talk about, we talk to a prospect. We want to get them on a presentation to offer our solution, and if the prospect says no or they're not interested, you know, we have lots in the pipeline that it should just roll off your back, and then you move on to the next one. So we need to be hustling. It's more calls, more opportunities to book presentations, and more opportunities to make that sale. How long does it take, before you should respond? When a prospect, say, gives you information, they've submitted a demo request, or they've read content that, say, you've distributed and you've been alerted about it. So how long should it take? Well, there's various studies out there, but the consensus would be that it's within 5 minutes that you should be getting back to them. Now, again, think about that. With modern techniques, we're able, and again, with the platform that when you send out a snapshot report or you send out a campaign, when someone reads that, you get a hot alert. You get an instant notification that someone has gone through that content or gone through that email. So within 5 minutes it takes to respond. So when we get leads in my sales development team, we're expected, and I'm expecting my team to respond to them within 5 minutes. That's when we're probably going to get them at their hottest, and it's fresh in their mind, and more likely that we can get them in on a presentation. Now, if you think about this, 30 minutes. So if you wait 30 minutes, there's stats out there that show it's 10 times less likely to reach that person. And calling within 5 minutes of that alert, it's going to improve the odds of qualifying the prospect 21 times. So that's a staggering statistic. So again, the proof is in the pudding. The quicker you get on the phone, the better it is that you're going to convert. Now, here's an interesting stat, and maybe you're aware of this, maybe you're not. I certainly wasn't aware of this, and I'm very shocked by this, actually. The average salesperson's response time is over 39 hours. Now, again, think about that. That's 39 hours. Think of it this way as well, is, with that much time elapsing, consider that as an opportunity or opportunities lost to book presentations and to close that deal. So I'd like to open it up here to some questions here. And I'm just going to check down here. Okay, and I don't see any questions here or anything. So, if you have any questions, I have some contact information at the end. Also, too, feel free to contact any of your account manager. Oh, sure. All right, great. Here they come. Fantastic. Okay, so let me address the first question here. May I look at a past slide, or where can I access this later? Great question, Kathy. Kathy, we always post our Wednesday sales webinars in our support page. And what I can do is, if you just can, it'll be in the resources center of our support page. So in your Partner Central, you'll see a link at the top where it says support. If you click on there, that will access the support page. If you go into resources, the recording will be in there along with the slideshow. Usually, I believe it's within the week is when they post that, because we'll edit it. We'll edit the recording and then post it for partners to get access to it. So, and if you don't have access to Partner Central, only the managers. That's true. So, Kathy, what I'll do is at the end of the of our webinar here, I'll have an email address, and I'll let you copy that down. You can forward me an email, and I can make sure to make a note to get access to that slide once it's up. The next question by Kyle here is, okay, thanks, Kathy. I'll make sure to get that email and send that to you. What would you do if you're caught by a gatekeeper? We have scripts for gatekeepers. The best advice I would give to a gatekeeper is this. The gatekeeper is put in a position of trust. So whether that's sales manager or the business owner, whoever it might be that's in charge, or the qualified buyer, as we would say, that gatekeeper is put in a position of trust. So what I would say is this: the gatekeeper can be your friend. Don't be condescending. Treat them with respect as well. And I would say if you cannot get through, if they won't let you through to, say, the qualified buyer, what I would say is, hey, would I be able to send you some information? You can have a look at it, see what you think, pass it on to the sales manager, and I'd like to follow up with you in a couple of days, say at around 1 o'clock, to see what you thought. So that's the best advice I would give is, again, treat them with respect and befriend them, and they can become your biggest allies. So any scripts that are unique to specific products like reviews and stuff, yes. So we have, again, in our support page, we have a lot of collateral that can speak specific to like reviews or reputation management, or even vertical specific, such as restaurants, or lawyers, or professional services like doctors. And so we do have scripts that are unique to that. Also, too, your partner success manager can also help you out with some scripting that can better tailor make your pitch. And sometimes it's best if you talk to them. If you have a specific vertical that you want to speak to, let them run through it with you, and they can help you out on how to point you in the right direction. Okay, so let me just scroll across here. Oh, sorry, there we go. Yes. So when you're getting started with Mandasa and designing a sales process, yeah. So what methods, can you acquire leads? So yes, cold calling, drip, yeah, that is all fine for sure. But you also need the contacts first. So it's always a bit of a tough question because one of the things that I would always say is, uh, if you have people, so if you're just starting out and you have, say, some contacts, like previous contacts in, whether it's in the industry or even contacts that you've had, outside the industry that you're going to be currently working in when you're just getting started, uh, you know, talk to them and see if there's any interest in, a reputation, if they know of any businesses that are interested in that, uh, you know, leverage some of the contacts that in the industry. What I would also say too is, um, there's also times where, you could use, say, one of the things that I've suggested in the past is, if you have, say, a local chamber of commerce, I would maybe get a chance to visit with them, let them know what you're doing, and get a chance to see if you can do like a bit of a co-op presentation or something, and maybe some of those businesses, after you do your pitch, you might be able to acquire some leads there too as well. So great question, Warren. With the goal of making an appointment to learn about the potential customer, what kind of pre-call research or planning, would you recommend? Here's what I would definitely recommend. So I'll equate this to my sales development team, and this has helped us a lot lately. Um, what I would say is, a little bit of that research. Now, you don't want to necessarily get bogged down in the research like after 20 minutes or so, but sometimes you might have to. Um, a LinkedIn profile of the business. Their website always has some very valuable information. And what I think some of the research you should do is, um, how long have they been in business? Maybe ask them some questions like, you know, reputation, is your online reputation important to you? Find a little bit out about that business. How long have they been around? What are they selling? What services are they providing? That's what I would say. And you could find that anywhere, say on their website, maybe some news articles. A lot of times, sometimes too, what we've done with our sales team is, we've cited maybe an announcement or a news article, congratulating them on, being voted, in the uh, top 10 businesses to deal with in their local area. So some of that stuff I think is what kind of pre-call research or planning you would recommend. Uh, Also, too, what I would say is when you're making the goal of making or the goal of making an appointment, you also want to make sure that that's the agenda. I would like to come in, uh, go through the solution with you. When would you have time? Would you have time Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock or Wednesday morning at 10 a.m.? So as partners, excuse me, sorry about that. So as partners, yes, there are some scripts that you have access to, and again, that's in Partner Central. If you, I'm sorry, excuse me, if you see the link there, um, there's they're located in the support page. Also, too, as Robert has kindly pointed out there, that's where the sales webinars are also posted too. And Kathy, if you got that link, that's where you can access that. And yes, again, usually it's within the week. Usually we get them in sooner, like Thursday or Friday. So right on. Okay, glad you're all set. Super. And thanks, Robert, for pointing everyone else in the right direction there. That's excellent. Thank you. So the best way to approach a chamber of commerce. One of the things we did a little bit of a thing. We tried to approach some chamber of commerce. We had some mixed results, but The best approach is I think it's the value. So when you're talking to the Chamber of Commerce, ask them, what value are you providing for their yearly, or say if it's a monthly membership? Because if we can work together and I can maybe help you provide more value to becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So you could leverage that where the Chamber of Commerce could say help you sell some of those solutions, reputation or a social package or a listings correction package. And they can, that can add some value to the membership a lot with the Chamber of Commerce. That's the best approach I would take. Also, too, if the Chamber of Commerce has, say, their weekly meetings or monthly meetings, approach them and ask them, would I be able to say, with your permission, do a presentation on behalf of my company to offer some solutions that maybe these businesses could sure use, like review management or listings corrections. So, the types of, and I'll go to Warren's question here. So are there types of sizes or businesses that tend to react better to cold calls? Warren, I have to admit, I'm not sure there's an exact answer for that. My experience has been, and again, so where we're resided here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, we tend to be, say, friendly folk. So people are a little bit more receptive to, say, you just dropping in or just making a phone call. But I also believe it's the value. It's providing value on that call. It's I think it's also, say, the industry too that you could look at. If you're looking at, say, your solutions, with your reputation. Again, let's use an example of reputation management, and there's review management within that lives within that. Some of the prospects that you may have: restaurants, car dealers, professional services like doctors or lawyers. Reviews are very, very important to them. So if you can spin that in a way where, hey, I can help you gather more reviews. I can even help you respond to, say, a bad review, or I can also help you promote your good reviews. I think that's the best approach. I'm not sure that the size of the business really much matters. It's more, it's more. I think it's the value. It's the value proposition that you're offering to that business. Again, how would you approach a large chain? Kathy, great question. So yeah, absolutely, they do get inundated. How do you stand out? Again, within the Vendasta tool, you're able to do a brand analytics report. So here's how I would suggest, or I can point you in the right direction on how you can stand out. For a large chain, what's important to them. Let's say it's 100 location chain. Well, what's important to them? Well, they want to know, they would like some intelligence on how their business is doing. And one of the things that they can find that out is, the reviews that are left on site and the mentions that are left on site. So I think, Kathy, that's the direction that I would go in. Is I can give you a report on how all of your locations are doing, and let them know that, hey, this is a great intelligence and management tool to help run your business. Now, again, how do you stand out? I think by asking those pointed questions. Would you like to know how all of your 100 store locations are doing? Well, we can help you do that with our brand analytics report. I can bring that in. We can go over it. It's an intelligence tool for you to run your business better. You can see what stores are doing really well and gather intelligence on why. And you can see what stores are lacking. And then it's a management issue where they have to implement some maybe new policies or new staffing in place to make their business run better. And Aaron, again, so Aaron, the PowerPoint and the script will be posted on the sales webinars section of the support page. So what we do is we'll post the recorded version, but also too, there will be a PowerPoint that will be posted to as well. So you'll be able to see that too as well. So I see that there's no more questions here. I hope that, again, I just want to back up here for a second. And again, this is me, so I want to thank everybody for being here with me today. Thank you for your time. I know out of your busy schedules, I appreciate that. I hope that this has helped, and I hope that I've helped answer any of your questions that you had. My name is Rich Seaward. Have yourselves a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you later. Take care.